A leap in the dark. The government of Afghanistan fears the worst once NATO finally begins pulling out its forces on Saturday, after nearly 2 decades of war. The aim is to completely withdraw troops by September 11th, the 20th anniversary of the attack on the World Trade Center. The original goal was to fight global terrorism by implementing democracy and so-called confidence-building measures to help defeat al-Qaeda and the Taliban. But the Afghan army will very soon have to stand on its own 2 feet, in an environment that is still highly volatile.
Without flexibility, it will be impossible to reach a peace deal with the Taliban. But there are some red lines that Afghanistan people are not ready to negotiate or deal on that red lines. That red lines can be our ADSF, Afghanistan National Defense and Security Forces, human rights, women's rights, and freedom of speech and media.
Over the years, the EU has provided Kabul with crucial infrastructure support for the reconstruction of Afghan society, including strengthening its security and law enforcement agencies. Stability of the embattled country is still relevant for EU security, which is why Brussels wants to maintain some influence.
The military force will be replaced by political support, and the Europeans, along with their allies, will have to establish similar conditions. If the financial support is to continue, then Afghanistan must comply with democracy as a condition.
But it would be an impossible task to maintain stability in Afghanistan without the consensus of external countries. The EU will need to make huge diplomatic efforts to cooperate with neighbours like Pakistan and Iran that have allegedly sponsored the country's more aggressive factions. And with Western forces withdrawing, the tribal components of the country could start clashing again. NATO's 20-year intervention has also inevitably caused casualties on both sides. But the locals have often paid a higher price for the long and protracted war, with many of them fleeing the country. And Europe has often been and will continue to be their destination.
I foresee, unfortunately, for the Afghan refugees who will have to leave their homes, there may be another influx of refugees into Iran, from there to Turkey, and from Turkey to the European Union. So I think the European Union should start now preparing settlement camps, preparing humanitarian aid.
Nearly 3 million Afghans have fled the country so far, topping the figures among asylum seekers in many EU countries. They represent the majority of migrants taking the so-called Balkan route, and also within the refugee camps around the Aegean Sea.